Hi, I'm Bryan Cassady. It's time to get ready. In the next hour, we're going to cover the basics of a good pitch, a tool to make effective 3 to 5 minute pitches in minutes, a truly awesome pitch review tool, and how to make a PowerPoint presentation in less than a minute. All you really need to know is you can make a good, maybe a really good 3 to 5 minute pitch in an hour following these steps. Step number 1 is going to our pitch maker tool. You fill in the pitch template and then improve on the input. Take you about 15 minutes to fill in the template and 5 minutes to improve the output. Then you go to our review the pitch tool. It'll take you upload a pitch, you read the feedback and improve, again 15 and 5. Lastly is to make your deck if you want. You can run our magic PPT prompt, then use an AI tool. There's lots of them out there to make your slides, and then practice. 5 minutes to make your presentation, 15 minutes to practice, 60 minutes, and you're done. You might notice there's an asterisk here. I'll say you can make a really good presentation. If you want to make a great presentation, it takes more than an hour. Sorry about that. Welcome to Pitch Perfect. How to pitch anything to anyone better in just 1 hour with AI. When you finish this, you'll get beta access to 2 AI tools for feedback. Before we start, let's start by defining what is a pitch. A pitch can be defined not by what it is, but what it does. There's something that people believe before you talk, and something people should believe after you talk, and some sort of action they should take. Quite simply, your pitch is what comes in between the two. What is a good pitch? A good pitch grabs attention, it's clear, it asks for action, and it's short. I know you've got a lot to say, but did you know the talk that earned Watson and Crick the Nobel Prize for the discovery of DNA was a little less than 5 minutes? If they can explain the secret of life in less than 5 minutes, surely you can pitch your ideas in the same amount of time. The hard facts as pitching is tough, and approximately 40% of pitches fail, and shorter pitches fail more often. Our focus today is going to be on a method to reduce your fail rate down to 5% and 2 tools to do things easier with AI. My promise to you is simple. If you're willing to make the effort, if you're willing to put in the time, you will never, ever make a poor pitch again. Who am I? My name is Bryan Cassady. I'm an entrepreneur. I've set up 11 companies in 6 different countries and sold 8 along the way. A few years back, I started working as a teacher. I said, who wants to be a teacher? But actually, I love being a teacher. I teach at some top business schools. I work at accelerators. And I've just made a move from what I would call the fortunate few to the motivated many, teaching approximately 5,000 students per year. I'm an author and a researcher. I've written the book Cycles. I'm working on Cycles 2.0, which is about using AI in the innovation process. And I do research on AI and creativity. I've got a big mission, a big target, which is to coach, train 1 million entrepreneurs by 2027. Now, if you'd noticed from the previous slide, I reached 5,000 students last year, which means I've got 199 years to go unless I do things more effectively. AI is a big part of those plans. What I do is I run workshops, I run trainings, and I do sprints. All of these are evidence-based, all of them are hands-on, and all of them are AI augmented. In everything I do, pitching is important. And because pitching is important, I've made a real commitment to work on developing people's ability to pitch. I've got a 1-hour pitching course, which is up on Udemy. Got some great reviews. I'm working on a pitching playbook, which is 35,000 words, which has a book and a teacher's guide. It's in progress. I don't know if I'll finish it. And 2 AI pitch tools and a pitch review tool. Before we go forward, let's go through the essentials of pitching. Usually when you're talking about the essentials, you want to keep things simple. So I'm going to look at things that you can fit on one hand. The magic 5. 5 principles, 5 minutes, 5 how-tos, a 5-step process to make a pitch, and 5 ways to make a deck. The principles are probably the most important thing. A pitch starts with a good mindset. It's about a story. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. If you want to get a story across well, you have to practice it and you have to get feedback. and you have to work to improve. I would strongly suggest you get your story down first, then you make your slides. I'd like to emphasize you do not need a pitch deck to make a pitch. What you need is something to say and something to ask for. The second part of the 5 is about the length of your pitch. A good pitch is usually 5 minutes or less. Why 5 minutes? Because people lose interest if you talk longer. And equally important, I know if I tell you to talk for 5, you'll try to talk for 10. Keep it short, keep it simple. There's a series of how-tos to make a good pitch. I've limited it down to 5. In my book and my course, I go through 10. Here's the most important 5. First, your pitch starts someplace. It starts before people are thinking about you. You have to get people to feel something before you ask them to think. You have to appeal to what the people talk about is the crocodile brain. Ha, this is interesting. You got to learn to lead with your conclusions. Now, normally I wouldn't read a letter to somebody, but I'm going to read you this letter because I think it illustrates how we've been trained to talk. It's a letter to Shirley from Lucy. I want you to think about what she wants to say. She says, "Dear Shirley, remember last Saturday afternoon when I was playing in the park with my boyfriend and you came over and he told me that when my back was turned you kissed him. And also on Sunday when you came to my house and my mom made you tuna fish salad and you said, yuck, that's the worst tuna salad I ever ate. And yesterday when my cat brushed against your leg, you kicked her and threatened to sick your dog Monster on her. Well, for all of these reasons, I hate you and I no longer want to be your friend." This is how we've been taught to communicate ideas. We give our reasons, we give a summary at the end. What I'd like you to do is to try to lead with your conclusions. Imagine instead the message was written like this. "Dear Shirley, I hate you. Here are my reasons. You stole my boyfriend, you insulted my mother, and you scared my cat." That's a powerful way to talk. It's a powerful way to pitch. A pitch is also more than just flashy talking. A pitch is built on content. The core that we focus on is problem, promise, proof, and payoff. What's the problem? What are you promising? Why should they believe you? And what will they get? Once you have those things in place, you can talk about profit and passion. Those are usually things you need to get funding for a business. Another how-to is what do you do at the end of your talk? You don't just start with questions and answers. You explain what you want people to do and why. You usually give them 3 reasons. You also want to leave a last line up on the screen or a last thought in your audience's head. The most important thing and the how-tos of pitching is about practice, practice, practice. We've all made pitches to our mom, we've all made pitches to our friends, and we're all looking for positive feedback. You ask your mom, "Hey mom, what do you think?" "Oh, that's great, son." The really useful question to ask is to tell your mom, "Mom, I know you love me. I know you even love me more than my other brother. What I'd like you to do is to tell me what's bad about my pitch." Then your mom has an opportunity to really tell you, and then you need to really listen. Assuming you've been listening, what you need to do is also think about the most important part of the process, which is improving ideas over time. Quite simply, the most important thing you need to know is that you got to put in effort to make a great pitch. Typically, over time, ideas will become more complex. We typically put our ideas into a presentation just after the time they're about as complex as they can be, and we make our presentation. What you need to do is you need to keep on working them, keep on fine-tuning them, because success will come later when the complexity goes down. There's a great quote attributed to lots of different people. I've put here the attribution to Mark Twain. He says, "I apologize for the length of this letter. If I'd had more time, it would have been shorter." It can say the same thing about a pitch. "I apologize for the length of this pitch. If I'd had more time, it would have been shorter." Once you have the principles in place, the how-tos, you can focus on the basics of a pitch. A basics of a pitch is you have to have a reason for doing your pitch. You have to get somebody's attention. You have to give them a reason to believe. You have to have a call to action. And you got to work on the delivery. Now, I could spend a lot of time talking about pitch theory, pitch fundamentals, but really the way to learn to pitch is to learn by doing. It's like learning to ride a bike. You could read every book there is on biking. You could read all about the theory of biking. You could watch YouTube videos on biking. But if you want to learn to ride a bike, you got to get on a bike. It's the same thing with pitching. Here's how we're going to do things today. We're going to go through a 7-step process. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example that you can follow through and go through together. If you're watching this video on your own, what you can do is take your pitch and replace it for our pitch. We're going to give you a pitch to start out with. We're going to ask you to review that pitch. We're going to then take you through a pitch maker tool, and you get a first pitch. Show you how you can upload that tool to a pitch review tool, update it, you can get a score, and make slides in that pitch. Everything you need is here. www.tiny.cc/pitch docs, or you can use the QR code. What you'll find in this document is today's presentation, a link to the PitchMaker app, a link to the Pitch Review app, the presentation we're going to talk about, and everything going forward. But before we get into the details, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the story about how our tools were built. It started with a spark. I was running a course up on Udemy, and we had a great idea that we would give the students following the course a free pitch review at the end of the course. Sounded like a great idea, and it was fun at the start. But then they started coming in. There was too many pitches to do as a human being. I went to an event and somebody said, well, Bryan, why are you doing this? Why don't you do it with AI? I said, well, you know what? I don't think so. Really, there's an expertise. There's a core ability to measure the quality of a pitch. You need to see people talking, and AI can't do that. He said, it might be better than you think. With a little reluctance, I agreed to make a basic version. And that basic version was based on a series of interviews and the types of questions we might ask about a pitch for myself and from other expert reviewers. When we tested that, without the video of the person speaking, but just the text of what they've talked about, we got the same results as the pitch reviewers, but a lot higher reliability. We then went all in. We built an expert model. We took hundreds, actually thousands of pitches and put them into a pitch training. What we ended up with there was a better model, gave the same results, a little bit better feedback, and it never got tired. Let me share a few results with you. The first, the way that you can look at a tool is you can look at a tool in different ways. First, the validity of the tool, i.e. the correlation with group scores. What we found is that our AI model, our basic model, was about middle of the pack. Our better model was close to the top of the pack in terms of quality of the pitch reviews. If you look, the second area we can look at is the reliability, i.e. we review a pitch once and review it again. What we found out here is the AI was better than all of the experts we tested against. And in terms of the value of feedback, we were better than all the experts. So we have reliable rules, as good as the best reviewers, more reliable, and a lot better feedback. Based on the success with our pitch evaluation tools, we got inspired to back engineer a PitchMaker tool. We haven't run any research, but we do have some facts. How long does it take to make a pitch? My rule of thumb before this tool was 2 hours. A 2-hour pitch takes a day, a 20-minute pitch takes 2 days, and a 5-minute pitch takes a week. With our PitchMaker tool, you can make a 3 to 5 minute pitch, which is pretty good, in about 15 to 20 minutes. No way that you can do this in another way. You're going to get an opportunity at the end of this talk to get beta access to both these tools in exchange for your feedback. When you get beta access, you'll be among the first to experience the tools and to learn more about them. And when you share your feedback, we'll move you up a level to a higher version of the tools. We're going to start back to where we're going to do things today. Step 1, 2. Now, to get everyone started at the same point, we're going to start with a pitch. That's an external pitch. You could start with your own pitch. I'm going to read you the pitch. It's an HR person selling me running a course. Not a great pitch, but okay. It starts out, "Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. I want to talk to you about an idea that could really help our company do better with project proposals and talking to clients. I'm suggesting we start a pitching program." So why do we need a pitching program? As we face more competition in the market, it's really important for us to communicate our ideas well. A structured pitching program would help our teams learn how to express their ideas clearly and convincingly. This could lead to more successful projects and happier clients. I think we should bring in Bryan Cassady, who is an expert in pitching. He's helped many startups and companies from different industries. His experience can help us create a program that meets our needs, focusing on how to create pitches that appeal to different audiences. The program would include workshops, one-to-one coaching, immediate feedback, and making sure our teams learn and can use these skills. By investing in this program, we'd be improving not just our pitching skills, but our overall communication, helping us create a clearer and more persuasive way of doing business. In closing, starting this pitching program with an expert like Bryan would be a good investment for our company's future. I'm excited to talk about how this and see how we can make it happen. So what do you look at? Well, if we come back to where we're at, we had the intro and the purpose kind of weak. The why could be a lot stronger and don't really see a reason to act now. As I talked about before, we have a pitch review tool, and our pitch review tool is saying similar things. If you look, we have a scoring on the purpose, the reason to believe, call to action, delivery. It's a score between 0 and 150. Our score on this pitch is a 99, which puts us smack in the middle of average pitches. Now, what we're going to go through is a process to help you improve a pitch, how to make it more betty. What I'd like to do is give you an offer. If anyone sends a pitch in with a score over 135, I'll offer a free 1-hour individual coaching session worth $395. All you need to do is send it to Pitch Contest at Bryan Cassady. I'll explain how to do this later. So we're going to talk about a 5-step process of building a pitch. This tool will take you through how you build a pitch step by step. It takes 3 to 5 minutes. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You go through a beginning, a middle, and end. You fill in the blanks, get AI feedback, push a button. Yep, that's it. Now, the first time I ran this course, I actually had people trying to make a pitch in the time available. We found it was too difficult to do. So we decided to give you the outline of a pitch, improving this pitch that we looked at. And we put some ideas in your document that you can access here. And we'll show you how to go through this step by step. Step number 1, you click on the start button. What you need to do then is fill in the purpose of the pitch. If we look at what we're looking at here, we've pre-filled in the purpose, and I'm not going to read it out to you, but I will talk about the one thing. The pitch is crucial because effective communication is key to standing out in a competitive market. By proposing a structured pitching program, I aim to equip our teams with skills needed to deliver clear, persuasive pitches, ultimately enhancing client satisfaction and project success. A little bit blah blah, but it's a step in the right direction. We then fill in what's the goal of the pitch, what does the audience need to believe after the pitch, and what did they believe before the pitch. When you click on the bottom button, you'll get some insights. You'll be able to read some generated feedback. If you like it, continue to move forward. If you don't like it, what you do is you move forward, up, and update it. The second thing we have to do is think about the introduction. The introduction is a 1-line version of your pitch and 3 supporting arguments. The 1 line, we need a structured pitching program that will empower our teams to communicate clearly. 3 different reasons. We then look at the heart of the pitch. The heart of the pitch is problem, promise, proof, and payoff. We filled this in, gone 1 step further. Next thing we do is we look at how do we close the pitch. The close of the pitch is usually a one line and supported by 3 reasons. Let's commit to launching this structured pitching program to empower our teams and drive client success. 3 reasons and a call to the future. We press a button, we wait, and magic, out pops a pitch. I'm not going to read you through this pitch, but I'm going to tell you it's better than the pitch that was there before. In terms of better, it's close to being a good pitch. Now, normally what we do is we take this time, work as a human being, but to save time, we haven't done that. It'll be your job in just a few minutes. Now, what I'd like you to do is imagine you've thought about this, you've updated it a little bit. You can take that pitch and put it into our pitch review app. Here, the link is also in the document, and using the pitch review app is also as easy as 1, 2, 3. You paste your pitch, enter your email, and you get your insights. So you go to the link, it'll look something like this. You drop your pitch, add the information. What it'll come back with is a summary of the pitch and a scoring of the pitch. We've got 2 versions of the pitch review tool. We have a free version, which we call the hobby version, which includes the PitchMaker app, the pitch review scoring, fundamental feedback, and a register and save reports. We also have an expert version, which gives you a lot more details in terms of content. In fact, it reviews your content in 15 different areas about how to make a stronger introduction, how to add urgency, how to show uniqueness, how to clarify the value you offer. And something I think is really cool is they take your original pitch and deliver it off in different formats and give you an outline for a PowerPoint presentation. The cost of this is $24.99 for 10 reports, so that's $250 per pitch. There's 7 different types of pitches for every scenario. There's an enhanced pitch, which is your existing pitch improved. There's an NABC and a 5-part pitch, which are structured pitching formats focused on needs, benefits, and competition. For those of you who've never heard about, there's a Pekakucha pitch, which is a 20-slide pitch with a bit of information on each slide. An elevator pitch, which all of you have probably heard about. And there's a storytelling and a problem solution pitch. What comes out of this is an enhanced version of the pitch. Again, I'm not going to read this. I'm going to give it to you that you can improve. The things that I see when I look at this: 1, the introduction's a little bit weak. It could grab me more. The language is a bit AI-ish. Let's delve into that. It lacks specificity, and there could be a better call to action. But if I look at the results here, we're seeing something that's better, score of around 125. Now, what I'd like you to do is to work taking this information and trying to make a better pitch. So you go to the docs, you'll have the original pitch, you'll have the updated pitch, and you'll have the pitch review. Then I want you to be a human being and to think and improve. Create a new and improved version of your pitch and get a pitch score. What you can do in this process, you can borrow or use things we've given you. You can use the version you made with the pitch review if you've been doing this at home. You can look at the comments in the pitch review. You can use ChatGPT. You can call your mom. Anything you want to do is okay. You can be creative, but you have to work fast. And remember, AI is unlikely to win. Here's a cheat sheet if you want to use it. You could take the 3 pitches, ask ChatGPT to improve them. You could say something like, here are 3 pitches. I'd like to make a great pitch, combining them. The goal of the pitch is something my boss can't say no to and will win a pitching contest. How long will this take? You got about 5 minutes. You'll want to come back because you'll learn how much better it can be. You'll also learn how to make a PowerPoint presentation in 47 seconds. At this point in time, people got 5 minutes to go away, build a pitch. They came back, and the delivery format was a pitch in text format, less than 500 words. That's about 3 minutes of talking. While I did this, I did an update on my side. I have to make a confession. It took me more than 5 minutes to do the update. It took me about 10 minutes. Maybe it's because I'm closer to the content. I'm not going to go through this, but I'll share the content in a bit. So the question is, how hard was that? You start with the PitchMaker tool, fill in a few things, you get a first version of a pitch. When you have that first version of the pitch, you can go get review on the pitch, you get ideas to improve. You should, at this point in time, have something pretty good. Now let's imagine you got something really good and you'd like to make some slides. How easy might it be using AI? Well, I'm going to show you how easy it could be. We have a single magic prompt. It's please act like a pitching coach, expert at making talks and pitches. Please make a slide outline for a PowerPoint presentation based on this pitch. For each slide, provide a title, key bullet points, the script, and suggest an image to be used. You can take that short text-based presentation, just like this, drop it in, and what'll pop out is an outline for a presentation. Now I'd like to show you what you can do in 47 seconds. You go to a tool, something like Gamma. You go here, they have an upload. Take a copy of the thing you got from ChatGPT, put it in place. You say you want to generate something. I already have some custom themes and layouts. You click on that button, and what's going to pop out is slides in line with your original communication plan. Those slides will be nice. They're good graphics. They'll look like something you can use. What I think is really cool is you'll also find it even does things like putting in logos from companies. This whole thing is taking about 40 seconds. You can go through it, you go up on top, you export it, and you export it as a PDF. Now, once you have this, you have to take a few minutes to go through and update it. What I've done is I took what I got out of the Gamma app, exported it over to PowerPoint because I'm better at working in PowerPoint, and made a new presentation. Here, I'll show you the updated talk. So I took all the stuff I got from Gamma, worked around a little bit, changed a few of the slides, added a little text, practiced a little bit, spent total about 15-20 minutes doing this. What follows is not a perfect talk, but it's probably enough to show what you can do in a short period of time. Let's see what you think. Here's a version of the earlier pitch, built in just 20 minutes. Imagine I'm an HR director presenting a board. Here it goes. It isn't perfect, but it's a step in the right direction. It might start as follows. Hello everyone. I'm excited about a new training program I recently followed with a bold promise. The promise is no one willing to make an effort will ever make a poor presentation again. I believe we should run this training at our company. I want you to think about a meeting you've had with a colleague struggling to capture the room's attention. Frustration is building. There are great ideas in the room, yet they're not falling as intended. We've all experienced that moment where communication falls short and opportunities slip away. Now let me ask you, how often do we leave a meeting thinking, could we have communicated that better? Did you know that nearly 40% of presentations fail to achieve their intended impact? I'd like to propose a game-changing training program. This is an AI-augmented presentation training program led by Bryan Cassady, an award-winning educator on a mission to train 1 million innovators by 2027. This is his award-winning course on pitching, adapted for companies like ours. It's research-backed and it's AI-augmented. As I said earlier, his promise is bold. He promises no one willing to make an effort will ever make a poor presentation again. How is this program unique? It's unique because of its learn by doing format and 2 innovative training tools, one for building presentations and another for reviewing them, and the integration of these in the course. These tools are based on research with over 1,000 companies and 5,000 presentations. When these tools are combined with a bit of human expertise, it's virtually impossible to deliver a bad presentation. The impact on an organization could be huge. Imagine every team member confidently presenting ideas, equipped with cutting-edge training and AI support. This means better sales presentations, better internal meetings, better communication, people understanding each other better. Everything works better in companies that communicate better. These tools and methods have been proven in startups, small companies, and large companies. They work because they teach the fundamentals of communication and provide AI tools that make everything easier and more effective. Microsoft, Air France, Unilever, and many more have all invested in programs like this and witnessed remarkable improvements. The most common improvement in larger companies is ideas are more clearly communicated so they can move forward faster, or equally important, are killed quicker. In leading accelerators where typically 40% of presentations fail, this program has reduced failing presentations to less than 5%. The cost of group training is €4,000. This isn't cheap, but with 20 people in a class, the cost is just €200 per person. But I ask you, what is the cost of all those meetings we could have communicated better? Imagine how much better presentations will be when everyone has learned how to pitch and has proven AI presentation tools on their desktop. With knowledge about how to present better in AI tools, presentations in our company will be better, easier, more fun, and made a lot faster. Instead of spending weeks building an okay talk, people will be able to build a great talk in just hours. I've already taken the initiative to book a first session at the end of November from our discretionary HR budget because I believe in this program's potential to transform how we communicate. I'm seeking your approval for 5 additional sessions. When we do this, we'll get lifetime access to all the AI tools to make better presentations a way of life in our company. Are you interested in changing the way we communicate? I am. With this program, no one willing to make an effort will ever give a poor presentation again. Can I end with 2 questions? When would you like to start? And who would like to be in the first class? All right, that's it. If you're curious, here's the score of that talk. It doesn't evaluate the way that I delivered it, but it does evaluate the content of the pitch. So we have a score between 0 and 150. Our total score here is 128. Actually, when I look at the comments here, I would agree with them. There's still work to be done. My target was over 130, which would be a top pitch, top 1%. I'd like to come back to an offer I made to you earlier. If you can send me in a pitch with a score of over 135, I'll send you offer you a free hour of individual coaching worth $395. If you want to try to improve the pitch I just made, you can go to the pitch in the overall document, www.tiny.cc/pitch docs, copy the text, play around with it, update it, and see what you can do. One of the things you may have noticed in that presentation is the PowerPoint slides were different than the PowerPoint slides I've been using in this talk. I like the design to use Gamma because it's quick, it's easy, it's effective, but I wouldn't use these type of graphics for my own. There's a couple other things that you have to do when you're updating your presentation. There should be 1 message per slide. You should try to remove as much content as possible. Less is more. Try to kill the bullet points unless you want to kill you off. And as I said, make the graphics yours. So let me summarize everything we talked about today into 5 easy points. They'll fit on one hand. The 5 principles. First and foremost, it's get your story right before you write up a deck. Story counts. How you write that up is more important than the pitch deck you're making. 5 minutes or less. How-tos. It's summarized primarily into tell a story with a beginning, middle, and an end. How do you do it? The best case I see is step by step with AI. And how do you make a deck? Let AI help you with your slides. So you might be asking, why does this process matter? Well, the most important thing that's there is it's an improvement process. What you'll see is that ideas, pitches, everything, things that you write get better over time. This is an improvement process where you get things better step by step. We started out with a pitch that wasn't great, got better, better, and better. The process to make great pitches is you get started. You might have something that's a bit ugly. It gets a little bit better. It's still a bit ugly. You practice and improve. It's a little less ugly. You keep on going till it's great. It's like the process where coal is turned into diamonds. With pressure and effort, things become great. In practice, this process is really important. I put it in place to avoid pain and suffering in the courses I was running. Typically, I run a course or an event with around 20 presentations, and approximately 40% of those fail. So if I have 8 pitches times 5 minutes, that means 40 minutes of suffering for me and the rest of the audience. When I put in place a pitch training, AI support to help create an AI review, I still have the same 20 presentations per course, but we have a 95% success rate. So it's 90 minutes of inspiration and 5 minutes of suck time. We do these courses in 2-hour courses and half-day courses. The biggest difference between the two is in the 2-hour course, we don't have as much time to focus on your individual challenges in the company, and we don't have as much time to work on getting feedback on the pitches. Both are effective, both work very well. I'd love to do one of them with you at your company. Now, to end this talk, I'd like to give you some free stuff. Free stuff in exchange for feedback. Just like I was telling you to ask your mom, I don't want positive feedback, but I want honest feedback. You can go to www.tiny.cc/pitchai. You can ask her a few questions about this session, and I'll send you a few presents. What do you get? You'll get a copy of my book, Cycles, written by me and 22 co-authors. You'll get free access to our new pitching course on Udemy. You'll get a copy of all the slides in this, and you'll get free beta access to the 2 AI tools that we talked about. And if you'd like, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much for joining today.